Okay, let's unpack this. When we talk about road safety, we're almost always looking at the end result,
Mhm.
the crashes, the accidents,
Yeah.
the really grim stuff.
The aftermath, exactly.
But if we actually want to get safer, shouldn't we be looking at the moment before all that? That split second where a collision is somehow avoided.
That is the whole idea behind this deep dive.
Right.
We're stepping away from the accident reports and we're looking at a data set of near misses.
So these are documented incidents.
16 of them, yeah,
Huh?
all recorded between October and December 2025. We've got the raw data and then a full road safety trend analysis report that breaks it all down.
So this is more than just a list of close calls. It's like an X-ray of a high-risk moment.
Mm.
The goal here is to get past the generic drive-safe warnings and find the repeatable patterns.
Exactly. What time, what vehicles, what road layout, what behaviors all collide to create that edge of danger.
And what's really wild is that every single one of these was avoided.
Right. By a hair's breadth. But the fact they happen so often tells you these aren't just random unlucky moments. They are structural risks baked into the system. Our mission is to give you a shortcut to seeing them coming.
To really get why this data matters, you have to feel it first. I mean, the visceral reality of what the report calls zero clearance, some of these descriptions are just shocking.
The one near St. Thomas Institute is a perfect example. It's just a moment of total simultaneous chaos.
Get this. It describes a young rider on a TVS Spectra pulling off this insane overtake.
And the report is very specific.
Yeah, it says he had only 1-inch clearance. 1 inch.
But it wasn't just one close call.
No. He dodged a car, an auto rickshaw that was also cutting lanes.
And then a dog runs out into the road.
It's 3 potential collisions in about 2 seconds. That 1-inch margin isn't skill, it's pure luck.
It's a gamble. And the sources point to a couple of specific vehicle types that consistently make these high-stakes bets. The report even uses terms like Chapri bikes.
And that's not about the brand of motorcycle, right? It's about a behavior profile.
It's about a high-risk demographic, yeah. Young riders who prioritize speed and agility over any kind of safety margin. They treat a public road like it's a racetrack.
And then you have the incident on the Ananchakal service road, the one the source actually calls the macabre dance. That sounds like something from a movie.
It reads like it. You have a car, it's pinned by a drain, you have a bike with 2 people on it, and it's teetering near a drunk person on the side of the road.
And then this other rider comes through it all.
Described as threading the needle of certain death.
Wow. And the detail that got me was the physical closeness of it. The rider's elbow flashed past the car window, so close the person inside noted they could feel the displaced air.
Yeah, that's not just seeing a near miss. That's a physical sensation. It tells you that these high-risk vehicles, the motorcycles and the auto rickshaws, they operate on margins of inches, not feet.
And you mentioned auto rickshaws. They seem to be a constant hazard in this data.
A huge variable. The sources mention one losing control and partially flipping over, trying a high-speed pass.
And another one.
Another one swerved so hard at 50 kilometers an hour, it almost caused a multi-car pilot behind it. They're a source of constant instability in the system.
Okay, so we felt the chaos of the moment. Let's zoom out and look for the pattern. From the scary story to the cold, hard data. If we want to avoid this, what time of day should we be most worried?
The data is incredibly clear on this. There's a consistent clustering of high-risk events between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m.
So between 1600 and 1700.
Yep. And if you look at the bar chart, the absolute highest peak is right at 1600. 3 near misses recorded in that one sliver of time. That is the peak danger window.
Wait a second, 4 p.m. Isn't that a little early for the main evening rush hour? I always thought that was more like 5 to 7.
That is a fantastic point, and it's a crucial distinction. It's not just about the volume of traffic.
It's the type of traffic.
It's the type and the psychology. The analysis connects that 4 p.m. peak to a specific kind of impatience. People are trying to get ahead of the main jam.
Ah, so they're rushing out before everyone else is rushing home.
Exactly. You get this mix of increased density, but also specific movements like schools letting out. You see St. Joseph's School mentioned.
So you have slower school traffic, pedestrians, maybe distracted parents.
All mixing with those high-risk commuters, the motorcycles and autos who are hitting the gas to beat the real traffic jam that's coming.
So it's dense, but it's still moving fast.
Yeah.
You have those high-risk vehicles just weaving through it all.
It is the worst of both worlds. The road isn't just busy, it's structurally unstable because you have erratic, high-speed maneuvers happening in these tiny gaps created by slower, more cautious traffic.
And this is where it gets really useful for us. It's not just the time, it's how the physical design of the road itself interacts with that behavior, how a simple curve becomes a death trap.
The road geometry is never a passive element, it's an active trigger. Let's talk about winding roads, for example. The report mentions the S-median and the banking of curve.
Okay, break that down for me. What are we picturing?
An S-median is just a divider that snakes through a curve. And banking is when the road is tilted to help cars stick to the road at speed.
Right.
The problem is when a slower car in that curve forces a speeding motorcycle to take a line it wasn't designed for.
Oh, I see. So if the road is banked for, say, 60 kilometers an hour, but the bike is forced to take it at 30.
The banking starts to work against them, the physics betrays them.
The report calls it a double tackle.
Exactly. The S-median forces them to change their line, and the banking, which should help, now pushes their weight into the other lane, straight into a head-on risk.
So that's on a curve. What about intersections? The data flags some very specific non-standard layouts.
First, you've got the S intersections. Well, it's a mess. Opposing traffic lanes follow an S-curve through the junction.
That sounds like you can't see the other car until you're literally on top of each other.
Pretty much. You have high closing speed, you have zero visibility, and the geometry is forcing both of you into an unpredictable path. It's a recipe for disaster.
And then there's a narrow T-lane intersection, the one with buildings right on the corner creating extensive blind spots.
Yeah, that's a double failure. You've got the blind spot and you have the usual right-of-way confusion you get at any T intersection.
So you have to nose your car out into traffic just to see if it's clear.
You're edging out into danger just to get a line of sight. It sets up this recurring risk for a really bad side impact crash.
On top of the road design, the data is full of just flat-out illegal and sudden moves.
Oh, constantly. We saw the tipper lorry that just lunged out of the petrol station without any warning.
A huge vehicle with a ton of inertia.
And, of course, the classic auto rickshaw jerking into a sudden U-turn right in the middle of the lane. You just have to expect someone to pull out from nowhere.
But there's one pattern that really merges the geometry and the illegal action.
Oh.
The report calls it the 10-degree trap.
Yes. This is where the analysis gets incredibly specific. This happens on what's called an F-shaped road, when a car is illegally parked or makes an illegal U-turn just after a curve.
Okay, so how does that illegal car create a trap?
It forces any vehicle coming up behind it, especially a fast motorcycle, to swerve violently. The analysis measured that swerve.
And it's a 10-degree change in trajectory.
Right. And you asked before, why 10 degrees? Why is that number so important?
Yeah, what's so special about 10?
For a bike at speed, 10 degrees is the threshold. It's the point where you can't recover. It demands a lean angle it's more than the tires can handle for that speed. You either lose control or you're forced directly into oncoming traffic.
So one person's illegal parking decision creates a guaranteed collision zone for everyone else.
Instantly. It's a fascinating look at the physics of failure.
And we also have to touch on conflicting merges, especially around parallel parking.
Right. The scenario on Highway 66, this is a classic. You have two cars pulling out from parallel parking spots on opposite sides of the road at the same time.
So the driver in the main lane is suddenly boxed in. They have nowhere to go but to swerve.
And they're forced to swerve into the path of oncoming traffic, which is a huge problem when that traffic is a KSRTC bus doing 70 kilometers an hour.
And the point isn't that one bus company is the problem. It's that these low-speed parking maneuvers force drivers into the path of high-speed, high-inertia vehicles they just can't win against.
Absolutely. The person pulling out is basically trading everyone else's safety for their own convenience.
Okay, we've looked at the timing, the geometry, the physics. It's all been sort of predictable in a scary way. But there's one story in this data that doesn't fit the mold at all, this coordinated pursuit.
Yeah, this one is an outlier. It's not just random recklessness. The source describes a night driving incident after the emphasis signal. The driver felt like they were being harassed, forced toward the median by one aggressive car.
But then it gets weirder.
Much weirder. The driver notices other cars and bikes are flashing their lights at them, and they come to this chilling conclusion that it was a targeted, coordinated pursuit.
Which suggests that sometimes the danger on the road isn't random at all.
It really challenges that assumption. It raises this question that if some of these incidents are deliberate, then our need to anticipate danger is even more critical.
So after all this, what does it mean for you, the person behind the wheel. We've seen these structural risks. We know when they're amplified. It seems like the big takeaway is shifting from just reacting to danger.
To actively anticipating it, based on the time, the place, and the vehicles around you. The analysis gives us 5 very specific, practical takeaways from all this. First, to deal with that 4 p.m. peak, you just have to slow down.
The recommendation is 20 to 30% slower in that 4 to 5 p.m. window. That's not about saving a few seconds. It's about buying yourself enough reaction time for the chaos.
Second, increase your buffer distance, especially on curves and near those school zones where we know the merge conflicts are going to happen.
Third, and this is a simple one, avoid median hugging. Give yourself that extra foot or two of space, especially on those banked roads where the geometry is trying to push you out.
Fourth, given all those blind spots we talked about, install wide-angle mirrors and dual dash cams. They see what your eyes can't.
And finally, a mental strategy. Pre-scan 3 to 4 vehicles ahead. You're not just looking at the car in front of you, you're looking for the first sign of instability in the chain.
That's how you spot the ripple effect of a sudden stop before it ever gets to you. You're seeing the failure happen before you're even in the danger zone.
That's a total shift in mindset. You're not relying on luck anymore. You're using specific knowledge to create your own safety bubble.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, what this all means is that knowing where and when the road is designed to fail, that's your single best defense.
We've seen that most danger is spontaneous, but sometimes, as the report hints with the note about a bike following someone to make sure they're off the road, it might be more deliberate.
So if these danger patterns, the time, the place, the vehicle type, are this predictable, how much of what we call road luck is actually just predictive analysis? And how much of it can you control just by knowing where the failure is about to happen? Something for you to mull over on your own.